Hi friends, in this video related to chapter capacitance and capacitors, we will determine the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor partly filled with a dielectric slab. Then the expression obtained will be utilized to determine capacitance of capacitor when it is filled with a number of dielectric slabs with thicknesses T1, T2, T3 and so on, having dielectric constants K1, K2, K3, so on. Also, we will determine the capacitance of capacitor partly filled with a conducting slab. Then we will study about the types of capacitors and at last about the uses of capacitors. So be ready with your pen and notebook to prepare the notes for future revisions. Say we have the parallel plate capacitor with plate area A, charge on each plate Q, then surface charge density on each plate sigma will be Q upon A, and we have placed a dielectric slab of thickness T and dielectric constant K between the plates of the capacitor. Now this charge Q which is given to the plates of capacitor will induce charges on the faces of dielectric slab, and these charges will produce an electric field within the dielectric opposite to the applied field, and the resultant field within the dielectric we have taken as E. First, the electric field produced between the plates of capacitor when charge is given to it in the absence of dielectric will be E naught equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Sigma is Q by A, so it will become Q upon epsilon naught A. When dielectric slab is introduced between the plates of capacitor, then net electric field within the dielectric, that is the difference of applied field and the field due to induced charges, will be sigma upon epsilon. It means sigma upon K epsilon naught, that is Q upon K epsilon naught A. Now electric field within the region having vacuum between the plates is E naught, and electric field within dielectric is E, and we know that the potential difference V is E into dr, because E is equal to dV by dr, so dV, that is potential difference, will be electric field into distance, and electric field here is E naught, so potential difference in the region containing vacuum will be E naught into distance between the plates occupied by vacuum, and that distance will be d minus t, so d minus t plus electric field within the dielectric E multiplied by distance between the plates occupied by dielectric, and that distance is t, so E into t. This will give E naught means Q upon epsilon naught A into d minus t plus Q upon K epsilon naught A into t, and this will give us Q upon epsilon naught A common and d minus t plus t by k. This will be the potential difference across the plates of capacitor. Now potential difference produced across the plates of capacitor when charge Q is given to it in the presence of dielectric slab of thickness T and dielectric constant K between its plates we have obtained, and if potential difference we have obtained and charge Q we already know, so capacitance of capacitor C will become Q upon V. Q upon V means Q will get cancelled with Q, epsilon naught A will come to numerator and d minus t plus t by k will come to denominator, and this will give us the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor when a dielectric will fill partially the space between its plates. Now, if vacuum fills the entire space between the plates, that is, we are applying conditions to this expression, then what will happen? The T, the thickness of the slab, will be taken as 0 because the entire space between the plates is filled with vacuum. So T being 0, this term and this term, these two terms will become 0, and we will get capacitance C in the presence of vacuum. I am representing it by C naught is equal to epsilon naught A upon D. Already we had calculated this expression in previous videos. Now come to the second condition. If the dielectric fills the entire space between the plates of capacitor, then T will become equal to D, and if T will become equal to D, then T will be replaced by D. D minus D will be 0, and here will be left D by K, out of which K will come to numerator, while in denominator we will have D only. So then capacitance C will be epsilon naught A upon D minus D plus D upon K, and this implies C is equal to K epsilon naught A upon D, and K epsilon naught can also be written as epsilon, that is permittivity of medium, so epsilon A upon D. Now if a number of dielectric slabs of dielectric constants K1, K2, K3 and thicknesses T1, T2, T3 are placed between the plates of capacitor, then the capacitance of capacitor C from that expression will be epsilon naught A upon D minus T will be replaced by T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus so on, plus T upon K, it will be replaced by T1 by K1 plus T2 by K2 plus T3 by K3 plus so on. So the expression in this case will be C is equal to epsilon naught A upon D minus T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus so on, plus T1 by K1 plus T2 by K2 plus T3 by K3 plus so on. Now if a conducting slab of thickness T is placed between the plates of capacitor, then either we can put directly K is equal to infinite, because for conductors K will be infinite, and if K will be infinite, then T upon K will become 0. We will get expression epsilon naught A upon D minus T. As in board exam, sometimes this question is being asked that determine the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor partly filled with a conducting slab in between its plates. So we are obtaining this expression instead of getting directly from the expression 2. And for that, we know that the electric field within the conductor will always be 0, because these charges induced will be equal to the inducing charge. Hence, net electric field within the conductor will be 0. So, potential difference across the plates of capacitor will be electric field in the region occupied by vacuum multiplied by distance occupied by vacuum, plus electric field within conductor is 0 and thickness of conductor is T. So potential difference will be E naught into D minus T. So capacitance of capacitor partly filled with conducting slab will be Q upon V, means Q upon E naught is Q upon epsilon naught A. So Q upon epsilon naught A into D minus T, and this time epsilon naught A will come to the numerator, Q will get cancelled. So we will get capacitance of capacitor as epsilon naught A upon D minus T. This expression for capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor partly filled with a conducting slab indicates that due to introduction of conducting slab between the plates of capacitor, effective separation between the plates decreases. As effective separation between the plates decreases from D to D minus T, the capacitance of capacitor increases. Thus, introduction of a conducting slab between the plates of parallel plate capacitor will increase the capacitance of capacitor due to decrease in effective separation between the plates. Now we come to the types of capacitors. Capacitors are generally of several types, but in electronic circuits, say this type of capacitors, the brown one and the blue one, this type of capacitors are the ceramic capacitors, while this type of cylindrical capacitors in which aluminium vessel is used are electrolytic capacitors. Also, we may be having mica or paper capacitors. In this type of capacitors, in between two thin metal sheets, a sheet of mica or a sheet of waxed paper is used as dielectric, and then they may be rolled to give a cylindrical shape. Also, next, electrolytic capacitors. Already I told you, in electrolytic capacitors an aluminium vessel is used as one plate, and in between the vessel is placed an aluminium rod that serves as the second plate, and this rod is coated with aluminium oxide, and that aluminium oxide serves as dielectric. Since the distance between the outer covering and the central rod is separated by aluminium oxide, the separation between the plates will be very small. If D will be very small, then the capacitance of such capacitors will be very large. Now next is ceramic capacitors. Ceramic capacitors are obtained by placing ceramic as dielectric between the two metal plates. Since ceramics are the man-made materials, they can be prepared as per our own need. So the composition of ceramic will be taken in such a way that it offers large dielectric constant, so that the capacitance of capacitor may be large. Now we come to variable air capacitor. Variable air capacitor will have two vertical rods, out of which one will be fixed and another will be capable to rotate about a vertical axis. These two vertical rods will be having sets of semicircular plates attached to them. Say to first rod, the plates are fixed at a certain separation. Say first one is here, another is here, third one is here, fourth one at another lower position. The plates which will be fixed on this rotatable rod will fill the space between the plates fixed on first plate. It means the plates on two metal rods will be such that the space between the plates on one rod will be filled by the plates on another rod, like this. Now when we will rotate a rod which is capable to rotate, then the area of overlapping between the plates will either decrease or increase. By varying the overlapping area of plates, we will be able to vary the capacitance of capacitor. It is called variable air capacitor. Variable because its capacitance is variable. It is varied by varying the overlapping area of the plates, and air because dielectric is air. Now we come to the uses of capacitors. When we come to the uses of capacitors, the basic use of capacitor is to store charge on it. And if capacitor will be charged, then surely an electric field will be produced between its plates. It means it will store electric energy within it. Next, inductive circuits to prevent spark. Whenever an inductive circuit means a circuit containing a coil like electric motors, electric fans, electric mixer grinder, if such circuits in which a coil is used. Now next is in inductive circuits to prevent spark. Actually, in all circuits in which a coil is used, that is in all electric motors, whether it is a fan or a mixer grinder or vacuum pump drawing water for us, in all such electrical appliances, at the time when we will switch off the circuit, then electric flux linked with the coil within it will suddenly decrease, and this decrease in electric flux will induce a large potential difference across the breaking points of the circuit, and this large potential difference induced will produce a spark, and that spark produced at the time of break of the circuit can be prevented by connecting a capacitor in parallel to the circuit. Now, for production of and detection of electromagnetic waves of large wavelength called longer waves are generally produced by oscillating circuits, and in those oscillating circuits charge oscillates on the plates of capacitor. Thus capacitors can be used for production and detection of electromagnetic waves. One more application of capacitors is there, that it is used to smoothen the pulsating currents. When alternating current is converted into direct current, then in the direct current obtained, always there are some ups and downs. It means their pulsations are there. So their pulsations can be reduced, means ups and downs of the currents can be reduced by connecting a capacitor in parallel to the circuit. Capacitors are also used in filter circuits. Filter circuits means the circuits that prevents the direct current to pass through the circuit, because capacitor does not allow the direct current to pass through it, but it allows the alternating current to pass through it. Hence, wherever alternating current in circuit is required but no direct current component is needed, we will connect it a capacitor in series with the circuit. That capacitor will stop direct current and will allow only alternating current to flow through the circuit.